What is my idea? What's coming through once again? And on today's video, we have another incident of CDCR in where an inmate became unalive for another inmate. This time it happened at High Desert State Prison. For all of you guys, man, who've been locked up in High Desert, you know what the real struggle feels like. That prison was like, it was all bad, right? So I'm familiar with High Desert, different yards, right? And I know what to get down, right? At least for my belief, things have changed a little bit, right? But still, High Desert State Prison is and will continue to be a place in where there's a lot of violence, right? And there's nothing that nobody can do about this. Point blank, straight up, man. You can change the whole administration, everything. You can change everything. That is not the issue. The issue is that we know, for those who've been in prison, we know how prisons are run, right? And those politics, those beliefs are not going to go nowhere. Simple as that, right? On this occasion, in June 10, 2025, around 6:41 p.m. in the day room, right? You're supposed to be enjoying your day room. I think they released day room at 6:15 unless they change the program, right? But I believe it was at 6:15. That's when they opened day room. But 6:41, enjoying your day room. You see people playing chess, talking here and there. They're watching the Rosa de Guadalupe on the TV, right? And one side, possibly on the other side, they're watching entertainment TV or something like that, right? Something around those lines, right? And all of a sudden, you have inmate Brian Cook going after inmate Joseph Reagan, right? And I'm not talking about this guy went over there, give him a hug or punch him or say, hey man, congratulations, man, you did it. No, this guy went over there with the knife, with the manufactured weapon, and put some holes on that individual, man. After this, you already know, man. Everybody on the day room knows what's going on, except the cops. Sometimes the cops, if you don't like that individual, that inmate, they'll let the time tick just a little bit, right? To see if the tower just paying attention here and there. You know, that's how it is. Eventually, they hit the alarm. Tell them, get down, motherfuckers, get down. You're not supposed to listen, right? Telling you, giving you a direct order as you committing an act of this extreme. You're not supposed to listen to this guy. You know what I mean? You're going to do what you're going to do until they start using any type of force. And you wish, as you're doing the thing that they don't use that Mini 14, you're like, man, I'm doing this, but hopefully this individual do not decide to use the Mini 14. You know how stressful that is? It's all bad, man, because it's a life for a life, right? And trust me, there's some cops that will not hold back. They're going to do what they have to do, right? Eventually, they go over there, pepper spray them, hit them with the batons. High Desert State Prison is known for this. Go for the ankles, go for the ribs, go for the backbone, or even the head, man. Something around those lines. You know, I have seen things here and there. And eventually, they stop. They stop. Everybody on the day room is on their stomach, looking at the scene. Of course, as the other officers come into the building, tell everybody, hey man, look the other way. Turn around, look the other way. Everybody starts looking the other way. But at the same time, you want to look back here and there, you know. But that's how it is, right? They form a security wall. They get the aggressor out of there. And then medical attends the victim right here and there. You know, but this time they'll realize that this individual had suffered lethal puncture wounds. And eventually, this guy is no longer with us, right? Sadly, but that's what it is. I don't say that he's no longer with us at that time because, you know, they're going to do whatever is in their power to try to revive him, right? He was taken to the medical facility right there within High Desert State Prison, and right there and then he got pronounced unalive, right? This happened around 7/17, right? So Ryan Cook, 49, the aggressor, alleged aggressor, right? He came into the state in 2016 with the sentence of life with the possibility of parole, right? Most like 25 to life, 20 to life, 15 to life, something like that, right? For second-degree murder. Now, as for the deceased individual, right? He came into the state in 2009 with the sentence of 10 years for vehicle manslaughter. Now, this individual had put in work in prison, right? He caught an assault with a deadly weapon in prison. Now, these individuals that were involved in this incident, this was not their first rodeo. This is not the first time going to prison because the guy who became deceased, this guy had a V number, right? So for those who know, V numbers are like 2005, 2006, around that area, right? He came into prison in 2009, meaning that he paroled before, but he never discharged the numbers. Now he came in again with a different charge with the same CDC number he had before. Now for Cook, the attacker, alleged attacker, right? He came into prison in 2016 with a double-digit number. Now, if he has back history, possibly he had, man. Possibly he had some history of going to prison before. Maybe he discharged a number here and there. But this type of incidents in high desert, it is normal. You have riots, you had stabbings, you had all kinds of different incidents that happen on this prison. And the reason why is because it's a level 4, man. That's what it is. The only question that I might have, and you possibly have, is in what yard does this happen, right? I can give you my guess and tell you it possibly happened on BR, you know, based on the fact that it was a one-on-one, which is rarely seen on a GP yard, keeping it honest. But also because one of those pictures, the individuals coming with the vests. You see those vests, the green vests? They're not as common on the GP. I'm not saying there's none on the GP, but I'm saying there's not as common. At least I didn't witness that many, and that's just my observation, right? Usually people use those vests to show any kind of disability, right? It could be hearing disability, it could be a visual seeing disability, or it could be movement disability, right? I heard the individuals who take hot meds might use that vest as well, so at least the cops identify them. And on the back of the vest, it tells you the disability that they have, you know, so the cops will know what's up with this individual, right? Again, it's just an observation. I'm not saying, but based on the fact that it was on one-on-one, it's my doubts that possibly this happened on BR. I'll go more with that than actually picking the vest, right? Now, one thing that I didn't miss about that prison, man, it was the long ass lockdowns. Those things used to be horrible. I still remember being in months on lockdown, right? And not even making a store. Imagine making a sopa, or actually splitting that sopa in half, right? Because you want your food to last, so you have to eat in moderation. Either a little bit of beans, a little bit of rice, a little bit of sopa, you know. And it was in tough times that we went through hunger. Straight up, man. Straight up, because the portions that they give you in prison, they're very small portions, man. Especially in that place, it was miserable. Straight up, man. They didn't give you the bag and drag. They didn't give you the packages like other prisons give you during the lockdown. They'll give you the packages, but not on this place. They were like, man, screw all the inmates. We're gonna do whatever we want to do, and that's why so many people complain in these lawsuits against this institution. Eventually, a lawsuit passed in 2013, eventually changing most of the program of High Desert State Prison, firing some cops, changing the warden, and trying to bring a different culture within that prison. But at the end of the day, you can switch whatever, man. But the culture of that place will never go away, man. I can tell you that place was something else. No radio station. I think you only had 2 radio stations. TV stations, miserable. And the violence was off the hook, man. Riots, stabbings, everything, man. So if you want to go to prison and experience the real thing, man, go to High Desert. Right there, you're going to learn something. And it's basically, don't come back to prison because it is miserable. So with this being said, man, one thing I like to always mention is that these individuals have family members, right? And their family members are going through stuff, right? Let's be considerate and understand that we're just telling the story, right? But at the end of the day, the most important individuals are the family members who became affected because of this. And hopefully they recover good in this difficult process. So with this being said, we are out to next video. Muchas gracias, saludos, and stay safe.